SMG4 is one of the best YouTubers by the fans and other YouTubers alike. Some videos can be wacky, hilarious, and downright seriously and quite darkest tone. It has some funny content as well like that way, and yeah, if you guys don't give who said about that, but yeah. But what if the video is to have very evil YouTubers like that? Well, some 3 innocent for videos. Oh boy. Now, SMG4 had 2 very controversial videos with evil YouTubers in it, like Storm 3, such as SMG4 joins a YouTuber's Rangers and Storm 3 get 5,000 subscribers. And how this Storm 3 was being debated by SMG4. Well, we'll find out soon enough like that way. Now let's start with SMG4 joins the YouTubers. Since I was first watched SMG4 videos back in August 2012, called Storm 3 get 5,000 subscribers by complete accident. But we're going to talk about that videos later. Now we start with SMG4 joins the YouTubers Rangers. Where does this most highly controversial videos like that? It's not best for videos either if it had bad YouTubers in it. On top of that, yeah, it just depends on trust and awareness on YouTubers and people who is not aware of what YouTubers doing like that way to make it feel a bit untrustworthy at some time. I feel a bit untrustworthy about Jeff Claytex 134 until I find out what he did, but I'm not going to talk about him like that. The videos of when SMG4 was being alone and watching a wall until I ended up at Storm 3, that faggot prick. When SMG4 tell Storm 3 about I was Storm 3 trying to get SMG4 to the YouTuber Rangers when he gets in, are you sure, like 2 times. And it's quite a barbaric like that. When Mario and Luigi was in the bin trash, well, Luigi was standing beside it, and Mario was on top of the trash cans, trying to find spaghetti, and also eating some Krabby Peach mix like that. When Luigi gave a sigh, and then he see what SMG4 is doing with Storm 3. Well, it's downright not funny like that. And then we can see Storm 3 say, are you sure, for one more time when SMG4 telling and Storm 3 stop wasting his time. You cannot get saying, are you sure, 2 times like that way in real life, crying out loud. Well, not Storm 3 because I cannot trust him anymore, but the fans out there. That's what I say to the fans like that. And they say that it's cops who tried to make SMG4 to join YouTube Rangers. And he's not joined with YouTube Rangers. Most times they had the cookies. Oh my god! And there's this thing when shit hit the fans. When Mario and Luigi wanted to go to join YouTubers Rangers, I really don't agree about that. This is quite a really controversial for videos with a disgusting pedophile like Storm 3. Never ever trust that YouTubers like Storm 3 ever. And yes, we all hate him as much more like that way. When SMG4 look around YouTube Rangers that Storm 3 had at cooler stuff, and the Mario tried to get into the YouTube Rangers, but Storm 3 refused it. This is probably the most controversial thing for videos like that.
Let me think about that.
And we never ever heard about that Storm 3 voice ever again after what he did. And then Lolita say, and then Marvel who tried to get to YouTube Rangers, and yes, they had cookies, but with untrusted YouTubers. And top of that, Zone 3 is banned from YouTube. Yeah. He's the only one who get banned from YouTube. And then Mario tried to join YouTube Rangers, like I already tell you about that, because don't trust that. And yes, I know reaction to the video, but just talking about that 10 billion years later, I don't find that funny. And then Mario actually run into bath where a guy was in. It's almost quite funny, but not quite that funny. Yeah. That was quite fella. Mario tried everything to get into YouTube Rangers. And then usually she tried to fix it, but right that time, yeah. I know it's quite funny, but also quite brain worth it like that. When Zone 3 tried to keep Mario out of it, yeah, still don't trust him. And 364,000 thought Mario gonna destroy YouTube Rangers. And here Mario Star. And this is SMG4 means Barrett videos like that. And his character blew up. Yeah. And that was quite not that funny like that. Until that mad thing, Mario can join YouTube Rangers, but that's just all in messing with that. Well, it's not that funny, but that's just mean spirit. Where the toes spin around in a circle, I don't understand why. And John gave gay joke in that video was not that funny.
How about new?
Rocket launcher.
And then SMG4 threw spaghetti out of the window to make Mario out of the YouTube Rangers. And here the old man from War of the Fatality 2011 used spaghetti. And then something take a break, whereas that was very quite controversial. When Mario begged Zone 3 to join YouTube Rangers, but Zone 3 refused that. That is quite a very controversial like that way. Until Zone 3 shouted at Mario's face on purpose. That's just mean and controversial. Then something apologized to Mario and then he kicked Mario out. That's just mean spirit like that. And then Mario put on disguise a fake mustache. Whereas Mario already had a mustache on his face. I had a mustache, a beard on my face, but disguising like that, but Oh my god. Yeah, and it was ideated by Summon 3 for SMG4. When Mario in disguise on SMG4, he ended up by Mario yeah, I can't make out. When Mario threw threw a sword at Mario Dylan's face. Well, not throwing, but just punching in. And then Mario will escape once he was given up like that. And then Mario with Luigi have final idea. And he had their own club where that doesn't work that. They did a really bad ending like that way. The same penguin killed himself. Well, that was absolutely not that funny. Like that. And then Mario had just the people made Penguin hurt the feline. And yep, he just killed himself. Luigi told Mario to say nice going, Mario. And Mario blew up into coins for the last 10 years. Well, it's quite outdated and they ended with game over. And that was the first of two controversial SMG4 Fido vs Storm 3. It's not SMG4's own fault, but he shouldn't listen to Storm 3. Well, he's not aware and trustworthy with Storm 3 yet. Until he done with Storm 3 in 2013. And let's move on to second and final Fido of SMG4. Storm 3 gets 5,000 subs at the second and final Fidos of controversy, and yet it's still quite a bad SMG4 Fidos like that. Storm 3 get 5,000 subscribers. Now let me tell you again like that way of this controversial Fidos. I first watched SMG4 Fidos by complete accident. And it's called Storm 3 get 5,000 subscribers. I know I thought it was quite good SMG4 Fidos, and then I started to watch more SMG4 Fidos back in August 2012. And yes, it's been 10 years since I first watched SMG4 Fidos back in August 2012, since I was 15 years old. I really miss my old times like that way. Because of my awareness, because of my unawareness and trustworthy what Storm 3 was doing until I found out what he did. And the reason why I stopped watching Storm 3 Fidos, and yes, it's quite a long story. Maybe it's 2010s. I cannot remember. It was quite a long story. But this is still quite bad Fidos, and yet it's still controversial Fidos still. The Fidos sort of when SMG4 and others who waited for Storm 3 to get surprised. I remember that Fido for the last 10 years. Since 2012. SMG4 and the other YouTubers who waited for Storm 3 were surprised of subscribers. I still remember that Fidos were quite funny. God, I remember that quote line since I first watched that Fidos back in 2012 with SMG4. When I thought Storm 3 would arrive, it turned out to be Luigi, which had a birthday back in June 2012. Yeah, we can tell it to the months. Made my frustration. And Storm 3 was in other side of the room for the whole time. And some of you wonder why he earned subscribers. Yeah, he did not deserve it. When all the YouTubers cried congratulations with Song 3, but the old man ended up with Marvel. You know the sprite from Pokemon Gen 3, 4, 5, Red, Leaf Green. Yes, he said that for 10 hours. Yeah. $10 hours. Yeah, that didn't count that. And why did old man make an ass count? Well, the answer is we will never know about that. I think something was in the room that was insult Mara and SMG4 made feeders for Song 3 where he did not deserve it. When Mara to Enzo is not about Enzo, with Enzo wasn't happy like that. And then they all four of them was watching on feeders how they went over that feeders back in 2012. And then SMG4 doing the video to congratulations of Song 3, but unfortunately, because of Song 3's idea, you can see Mara naked. Yeah. And top of that, AWs are not that funny like that. Since the first watch SMG4 features back in August 2012, we had naked Mara already, which is quite unexpected for no reason. Yeah, gay joke was also not that funny in this video either. And so wonder what happened to the video. And that's been for find out when Mara dead. And yes, Mara did take over the videos. And yes, because of Song 3's stupid ideas like that, and yes, that is why SMG4 slowly just started to get really paranoid with Song 3 until he's not allowed in theaters anymore after Spaghetti Law. And yes, Mara did make the gay videos, and then some say that it cannot be that bad.
Get ready to move your thingies.
And then also turn it off the TV when he freaking out. And something just never threw up after watching it or before it, but yeah, this is really quite controversial YouTube videos. And then Tool doesn't care about that before he gets threatened by Mario with a pesto. Yeah, it makes me feel bad for the Toads. They did the worst scene, and yet this video was used on thumbnails. Well, the thumbnails never be changed, but... And then Crimson said it's over 9,000. Where's those become a meme from Dragon Ball? And then Jordan think that Crimson will listen for Justin Bieber with 10 hours. But it doesn't sound like that. And then listen for tell Mario about inviting party. Then Mario thought he did to send a letter. But Mario did not help. Instead he gave a letter to Hobo. Whereas Hobo thought it was food. Where does know that funny? Yeah. And then this was told to stay put for a few hours, and then he hates his life. Well, that's a downright fella. And SMG4 think Mario had died along the way, and 2 think the method just grew up, but Mario was still useless to deliver to letters to end fight the invasion. And then SMG4 start the party, do the Explorer theme songs. And then SMG4 tell Enzo to get rid of Crimson, enter the toilet. This is quite a funny whether it's all they had. He'll worry whether but to use toilet, and then
Oh my God!
yeah, that was just quite funny. And then Mama will give a gift to Summon 3. Where doesn't 4 had a gift? Yeah. Mario think he was left outside. And he gives Summon 3 if guys can go to you may guessed it. A stick. Yeah, Summon 3 did not deserve a gift like that after what he did. And then Lucia gave Summon 3 a rose. Red Mouth was a ha gay. And yes, Bowser get 100 subs, which I feel bad for him.
I hate my life.
Yeah, I feel bad for Bowser. And then SMG4 gonna have a cake, but he realizing the cake where they don't have that. And yes, Mario was forgot to buy cake. Even make matter worse, it's SMG3, sorry. Yeah, SMG3, my bad. Also a baddies. Yeah, he was a baddie. Well, also baddies, that's something that SMG3 is like that. When SMG3 said to Mario, I have cake, well, he was a baddies from 2011 to 2020 until he had a redemption, or redeem in 2021. And then SMG3 had a cake, according to Terrible TV Wiki, why the SMG3 was bothered making cake like that way. Yeah. SMG3 should blew up something, well, a party like that, but yeah. Quite unforgivable, that's something he really is. He did not deserve any subscriber or join YouTubers like that. Well, Rangers I meant. Yeah. And Mario said that person who killed him like SMG3, and then Mario who carried like Kitu instead of cake. When SMG3 say that when Mario doesn't know there was a bond in there, yeah, still they will eventually get killed by SMG3 like that way. That would really make more sense like that. Yeah, SMG3 was not a badass anymore after Revolution or no, I meant Genesis arc, my bad. And then SMG4 thought, well, he was meant to be called SMG4, but I said SMG3 instead. SMG4 think Mario found cake from the trash again. And then Mario light the candle up. Something wonder why the tech a noise. But the Mario thought it was a candle, but it turned out to be a bomb. Which it could be killed like that way. And then he passed it to Luigi and then passed it to Storm 3. And SMG4 or dodged it and it blew up Mario with it for 2021. Yeah, but gone bit close to the line. And a few weeks later, which mean 5 weeks later, this is the most famous line that Mario for 2021 said to Storm 3 that he pointed to Storm 3, yeah. Storm 3 deserves to get punched in the face after what he did. I think Storm 3 to my mouth, which was on the 21 about subscribers up. Yeah, SMG4 hosted party for Storm 3 get the sub 5,000 subs, and my mouth for the 121 punch. Storm 3 said, forget about that day. When it's quite famous or almost infamous quote line. Yeah, almost infamous quote line. Listen to that.
Forget about that day.
Yeah. Forget about that day. A quite famous quote line. Well, almost infamous quote line. Yeah. Well, feel about that. SMG4 joins YouTuber Rangers and something get 5,000 subs was downright controversial SMG4 feeders ever with Storm 3 in it. And yes, Storm 3 did not deserve. Yeah, sorry, let me try this again. Storm 3 did not deserve get any subscribers or had other YouTubers join on YouTubers Rangers like that way because he don't not deserve his own crops like that. I don't make my own crops, but I don't do that. And yeah, Storm 3 was quite disgusting pedophile he really is. The other YouTubers which you cannot trust them anymore, like Storm 3, such a Heavy the Squared, Ella Godelia, Chief Craze 634, and yeah, you cannot trust them anymore like that way. I really wish the media Excalibur were gonna kick Geoff out from YouTube, internet, and community like that way. So do it in favor about that. Oh yeah, people never forgot about mention there are also fans since Storm 3 was dead and he can have a chat and he can have Storm 3's channels, but I was absolutely a big fat no. What the hell is wrong with YouTubers? If you think you can join, if you think you can borrow Storm 3's channels, then think you were a pedophile. And that's absolutely not true, but we don't want that like that way because it's better to stay away from Storm 3's own channel, well, their channels like that way because people think you were a disgusting YouTuber like that way, but to just stay away from Storm 3's YouTubers like that. I really don't recommend to just watch SMG4 join the YouTuber Rangers and Storm 3 get 5,000 subs by SMG4 because it's downright not worth it with disgusting pedophile like Storm 3 like that way. Storm 3 was absolutely a faggot prick he really is. And yeah, Storm 3 was just a shithead he really is. To poor children and some female person like that way. Storm 3 is a shithead. Yeah, he's a shithead like that way. If you look at Storm 3's channels, and yet we all don't know he's exposed. Do not watch Storm 3's videos ever again like that way. If people who already know about Storm 3 depend on awareness and trust before he start doing something like that, disgusting stuff like that way. I also used to be watching Storm 3 videos until I not watch his videos anymore because of his behaviour. It was quite a long story short. If we learn about or find out what Storm 3 did back in 2013, then I'm not going to be watching his videos anymore. But I think I really did stop watching his videos like that because he is absolutely not worth that. So, in according to other YouTubers where they still trust him, they talk about Storm 3's nonsense. even most serious YouTubers ever know about that. It's more HFK Machina. Yes, Machina was quite a long dead back in the early 2010s, I think. Well, I cannot make up about that. He yelling at something's face about that. Yes, something was quite a coward. Yeah, something at a shithead. Yeah, more HFG Machina tells something off. And yes, he is a. Yeah, something was a coward. Yeah. So I really don't. So especially don't watch something's videos ever again like that way. Yes, he is quite a long gone for good. I would never ever want to hear his voice, well, his stupid voice again. And he just a pathetic waste of space. Even most annoying me about that, only Kane had something in it and he's still not aware that was something he was doing. Until he finally stopped adding him to his videos. So do not watch Stonethie's videos ever again. He's not trusted. He's not worth it. And Stonethie was just a shithead like that. Since SMG4 stopped adding Stonethie to his videos after Spaghetti Law, Kevin would tell SMG4 that Stonethie was not trustworthy anymore, and yes. So this is where SMG4 had a falling out with Stonethie, and he stopped adding videos with Stonethie in it back in 2013. So SMG4 had to focus on his own videos, also his own idea, along with his brother Kevin's on the videos. Because SMG4's own video was also going to be own ideas by SMG4 and Kevin from now on. I still love SMG4, but I hate Stonethie now. I hate Stonethie. I love SMG4, I hate Stonethie. I hate Stonethie. I love SMG4. Yeah. Screw SMG4. Oh shit. Stupid me. Sorry SMG4. I mean, one YouTuber. Fuck Stonethie. Yeah, fuck Stonethie. And screw Stonethie. That's what I meant to say that. Sorry SMG4. My bad. Yeah, my mistake. Yeah, fuck Stonethie. And yes, fuck Stonethie. And yeah. And we still watch SMG4 videos as usual, like we are. I know I made a mistake either, yeah. Only Kane was also stopped adding Stonethie to his videos as well after Yoshi videos back in 2016, which I'm going to react to that later. The only Kane already learned about what Stonethie did like that way, so never ever trust Stonethie ever again like that way. Ever will trust worthy and awareness like that way, then I will not really trust with Stonethie anymore. I don't ever still trust with Geoff Critics 104 either. I don't know, yeah, because Eligo Daily was also did not deserve any trust like that way, but it could have so Shadow, we don't talk about Ellie's Jumbo and Harry's relationship, but whether I was truly agree with that. So in concluding, I really don't recommend it. Just watch SMG4 John YouTubers Ventures and Stonethie get 5,000 subscribers, because Stonethie did not deserve get any subscribers anymore, because all the fans was already there to find out what Stonethie did like that way. And they're all unsubscribed from Stonethie's channels, and Stonethie was now dead for good. I don't care about his video was uploaded or not like that way, because he is not trustworthy anymore like that way, and yes, and he did not deserve had his own YouTube boss Rangers Corp like that, because depends on trust and awareness. It's best just never ever trust something ever again like that way. Also, Heavy the Squared, Geoff Critics 134 and Eligo Delia. They are not trustworthy like that way. And they not trust Jack's Chocolate either, because of what he did to Canada like that, because and YouTubers we still trust him as usual, like Mario with 421. He was no longer friends with Stone 3 anymore because he did find out either. We still trust Mario with 421 still as usual. We still trust Alex Spider as usual. And Lucy the Rescue 15, Violet England, and Jeffrey England, which we still trust him. We still trust England's side as well because they are very well behaved YouTubers as usual, except for other YouTubers like that who are not trustworthy. So do not watch Stone 3's own videos ever again because he's not worth it. But do not watch his videos because he's like Stone 3, he's not worth it. Do not watch SMG4 join YouTubers Ventures and Stone 3 gave 5,000 subscribers because they quite very controversial videos either like that because depend on trust and awareness like that way. So yeah, just stay away from Stone 3. Just stay away from Stone 3 and don't watch two other videos that SMG4 had like YouTube Rangers and 5,000 subs with Stone 3 in it, but don't trust him ever again like that way. Please leave comments below. Please subscribe and follow me in my channels. Link in the description below. Follow me in my TikTok, my Twitch, my Discord and my Patreon channels. Follow me in my TikTok, my Twitch, my Discord and my Patreon channels. Click that bell for notification. And follow me in my TikTok, my Twitch, my Discord and my Patreon channels. Click that bell for notification. Peace, Minister Jane. I hope you enjoy it. Peace, Minister Jane.